stream about 30 seconds to a minute. However, I will be going AFK maybe once or twice in quick succession because things happen. So, yeah, I've already prepared for it, so thankfully I should have things prepared for it. Just making sure that my stream looks okay because I'm looking over at YouTube right now because obviously that's where I'm streaming from. But let me see if I don't see anything else. Otherwise, yeah, this stream is just here to mainly go over my mod by myself, and I want to get to at least 2 points because there's a bug that I haven't fixed yet, and I really haven't started fixing until pretty much just recently because the mod was on hiatus. So for a quick introduction of the mod, it is essentially a wish fulfillment mod where it is essentially also fanfiction where you have more contestants survive. Now I would like to do the whole shebang, and the whole shebang meaning every character, but that's a lot of work and bug testing I have to do. I also may want to consider, yes, I'm running a censor mod, by the way, just to, be sure, but I did want to do a thing. I forgot what I was going to say. But without further ado, hey, we're going to start on this run, and let me actually put the volume up. So, if the audio of the game is too loud, if I'm too loud, if the game is too low, or I'm too low, please let me know. Otherwise, let's just get started here. We're going to play Levy, because Levy's next on the mod, but again, this stream is mainly for bug fixing. So, and just kind of a quick reminder, because it's been a while since I did a full run-through of my own affection mod. Otherwise, obviously having more hands on it helps out with bug testing. I've gotten more than a few messages about things, but for the most part, a lot of it is typos. Unfortunately, some of it is, as we go through the history here, some of it is, well, it has to do with gameplay and can affect gameplay. In fact, there is one soft lock, so let's find out. But yeah, without further ado, I think I would still rather take a rifle here. But let me just abandon sinking ship so I don't have to take this. Otherwise, I would just run default Levy, but I've decided on what I've decided to decide on. Oh my goodness, I am not doing... I don't even have a cup of water right next to me, so this could be quite bad for me. But that's why I say when I'm going AFK later, it's perfectly fine. And yeah, we will need saves. I thought I did a thing. I did not. So we're just going to save over the Batsu stream that we did and then move on. We're not going to... Well, yeah, we could skip the intro. I lied to myself. Again, this is mainly... we're doing nearly a complete playthrough. But we're not probably going to do a complete playthrough. Otherwise, well, we'll see. But otherwise, to explain the only other part of this stream... aside from just doing a run with the mod, we will be testing two specific things. One is some part of Abella's events that I've modded in, and the second part is a soft lock. So I'm going to be doing the Route B, and for those who know the affection mod, you know what I mean. Otherwise, you'll see as I go through. And there really are only other things like typos here. So at the end here, when I go through this book, that's how at least you know the mod is working. Then you'll see, I think you would have seen that it said the occultist here, and yeah, that's the kind of example by the occultist. So if you take the occultist with you everywhere, but that's a typo. So yeah, things like that. I think that's still the most frequent. Those are still the most frequent errors in this mod, but hey, also because we stood up to the father, we now have more HP. But yeah, so we're still gonna, I think we still want to grab Abella. We're pretty much gonna do Abella immediately anyway, but after that we're going to wait until day 1 evening, I believe is the exact bug. In fact, I should probably pull it up just to be certain. But we'll continue moving on while we're here. Hey Karen, and let's see what else. So again, this is pretty much just another normal run, but I haven't done a lot of Fear and Hunger 2 runs for a while, so, and gods forbid I even did a Massa mode run, but hey. So what the Abella, just to give a sneak preview, what the Abella part of the affection mod entails is essentially, yes, recruiting Abella. So we're gonna go recruit Abella really quickly, but we're still gonna, the run is pretty much nearly the same, save for the very end, obviously. For those who know, and for those who don't know, I'm just gonna tell you right now. The ending is not. It's not like I've made a completely new ending with the mod, but obviously things that should not happen happen. So, and that's why I've placed it within the realm of fan fiction. That's the same. The same is true for any mod I make, really. For another game on this channel is especially doubly true. But I essentially treat all my mods as fan fiction in a sense. So. Yeah. Also, I think we do want to do a thing here with Tanaka. But whether I can survive or not, I mean, he has a whole different story. But we can do this. We should be able to do this. So let's see here. Let us talk and do this. Normally, I think there is a chance you somehow still can die here, but for the sake of testing science out, let's do some things that I am not sure of. And I think I can do the same with the other arm. And then from now on, I just guard until I have 3 rev. Question mark. I'll stop, please. Yeah, I'm gonna stop because I need a 3 rev. But if you have any questions, or if you're watching this as a VOD and you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section below. If you're watching live, then yeah, feel free to ask anytime. I'll try to answer any questions. Some of things are answered by the FAQ, but I don't mind repeating answers. That's kind of the... what do I want to say? I don't think it's the exact word, but the responsibility of someone answering questions to answer redundant questions. Or questions that have been repeated before. Redundant sounds a bit disingenuous, I believe. But we'll see. Obviously, there's a point, right? Like, if I answer the same question 3 times in 3 minutes, there's a little bit of thinking time that needs to happen. But as we loot the woodcutter's house really quickly... I was thinking about adding more things, but I didn't want to... What do I want to say? Override any mods that you might be able to pair with. But at the same time, if I really wanted to make sure my mod was compatible with others, I really should just, you know, slap mods together along with my own and see if they work out. And then see where I can do otherwise. But basically, for those who know anything about the file structure of Fear and Hunger Termina, my goodness, then you'll know that obviously overwriting certain files or naming certain files the same will result in basically mod conflicts, which, you know, isn't too great, but we do our best. I can walk around this, right? Yeah, or over the body. And so if if obviously for something like a sensor mod, usually only the images should be affected. So there's really no reason for the mod to be incompatible. That's also the reason why I'm using this sensor mod right now. But at the same time, if you're doing other mods that, you know, add content or things, sometimes it will change things. So, and I was about to say, this setup changed for a moment. I can do this, I believe, because I did pick up the thingy-majiggy. If I want to be safe, I should block here, but I think I can just 1 rev twice. And we should be fine. I think you can low roll this, but... Yeah, anywho. Did you really just de-aggro from over there? Gosh dang it. Are you faster than me? You are, if I don't run. Aha! I fooled you, beast. You'll never figure out how to get over the body. But we need a Bella. On top of the fact that a Bella just makes your run easier, but that is why, when I made this mod... So again, just kind of to fill in the time, if nothing else, but... Really, the mod does make the game harder overall. Not that much harder. If you know what you're doing with World of Fear and Hunger! They both have little interjections between the phrases, but yeah. If you know what you're doing, it's still not going to be so bad. Obviously, there might be things that surprise you, things that, you know, that I add in that you've never seen. But after that, I mean, it's not too hard to plan around. Unless I do something really out of left field and gimmick you out. But oftentimes, that's not going to happen. So... As we grab a Bella here, I just realized I see a thing, and I'm not... I shouldn't do that, but... Let's continue flipping coins. 25%. I don't even know what I just took, because I looked over for a second, and I forgot that I was skipping through things. I should be able to see if I picked up anything here. A plank shield. Is that... Yeah, more fire, but... I'm trying to think if I need to worry about that at any time soon. Otherwise, as a small tip, if you are using this mod, without any spoilers really, yeah, you do want to be checking these shelves. Not that you don't do so usually, but sometimes, like obviously, if you know what you're doing in Fear and Hunger, you don't normally need to loot these shelves. But I swear there's like a few items that you can pick up from them that are useful. Aside from just gasoline canisters, but I wasn't looking out for them. Scrap metal, something gunpowder, something, another gasoline canister, and away we go. Hopefully I picked up the actual gasoline canister. But as we may trigger needles here. Hey, you, come here. I could have actually just opened that. I don't know why I didn't. We do get something here. Iron spear. I don't want to take this risk though, so maybe I just... Do I have enough to shoot him down? I did take extra ammo. That looks close, but I don't want to risk it. I don't remember. I feel like it's 15, which means I don't have enough, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? Can I get him to stop? I can, kind of. The problem is he's going to run back. So let's find out. I should be able to reliably escape from needles a few times here, but as long as we get through this, we're perfectly fine. 7 rifle ammo. I feel like that does get rid of needles. Am I thinking of someone else? I might be thinking of someone else. Anywho. Let's get this first point of affection, by the way. You only need 2 to start having Abella help you out, but, I mean, hey. Things. So down we go. And over here we go. I actually should have opened the other electric panel here. I did not. On the upper level, but fine. That is rifle ammo, right? I believe that's rifle ammo. 313? Yeah. Well, a bit too late because I think needles disappears. And if he doesn't, so be it. We're just going through this anyway. Did I get another pipe wrench? I did. Well, scrap metal, 2 bolts. We might be able to even, quote-unquote, fix the train now, but no real reason to do that. I'll do that when I loop back all the way around. Hello, yes, happy Fear and Hunger Sunday, pretty much. But yeah, I did a large reason for this is, yeah, just want to move away from World of Horror, get into other games, even if it's just Fear and Hunger 2 again. Phasing it as if it were alive. Thanks for coming down, by the way, it means a lot. Yeah, that's dialogue I added. That is also an indicator that affections increased. Then we get a newspaper article and we just move on. Do I dare go for a pearl? Because basically if Abella dies, I don't know why I didn't, if I'm quote-unquote debugging things, I don't know why I didn't just give myself like 99 saves, but hey. It's fine. As long as nothing really weird happens. But if it does, well... Again, I'm trying not to mod the game aside any more than I have set already. That way I know if something is my own mod or not. But for the most part, I should be able to recognize when something is my mod and not. So basically, if I were to mod in 99 saves, hopefully I don't forget about it and then people suddenly have 99 saves, so on and so forth. But I also should feel confident enough to go through a normal playthrough of Fear and Hunger 2 and, you know, be pretty good. How did you get past that other wolf, by the way, Pav? You know there's one standing outside here, right? Did you just walk through the forest where we can't walk? Come on, man. Anywho. Spooky Pav! You're probably right. Anywho. So yeah, in about 30 minutes here, I will have to go AFK, by the way, but we'll see, and I'll probably have to go AFK again quickly, but again, this is kind of just not a normal stream, but what am I saying? A chill stream anyway, so at this part you might be wondering, well, Jordan, if you're planning the stream, why didn't you plan things out beforehand? And the answer to that question is, I couldn't really. So, for the sake of my own responsibilities in real life. Also, yeah, I think we'll be okay here. But yes, as of it is right now, to kind of reiterate what's going on here, the affection mod doesn't really change the game that much. The most it changes the game is towards the end, but even then, like, if you're looking for actual consequences, well, kind of, yeah, I guess you could say yes, but at the same time, no. I think I can have you guys just block this place, right? I could. I think we can just double attack here, too. We should be fine, especially with the iron spear. That scared me for a moment, but should be fine. And then I'm going to have his body block that. I actually didn't want his body to block that, but, you know. And when I say block, I mean the fact that, yes, I'll keep reiterating, just in case anyone new is watching. Because by this time, if you're watching the stream, you are more than likely going to be spoiled, so I guess kind of a warning. But in terms of, like, game mechanics, yeah, enemies can't walk over bodies that have fallen on the floor. So, yeah, that means you can just trap enemies past the body, and it's perfectly fine. What if I can do this? I'm gonna try to do this. I shouldn't, but let's find out. I think it's here, or is it here? Huh? Oh no. I can't. I could rifle this guy. No, not really any reason to. I think he keeps pursuing, right? He might, but Abella does do a good job blocking. Anywho, well, I guess we are talking. And we'll do our best. If we die, we die. What was that? What was that? What was that? Coin flip. I think I'm just gonna double flip here. Just to help myself out. And then he dies. I forgot where exactly it was. I know the game hasn't been updated, so you can still... So what I was trying to do there is kind of... So the thing about the vial is that he does have a spot on the map where he won't detect you because of diagonal movement in this game, which sounds pretty odd, but trust me, it makes sense. Well, game engine-wise, it makes sense, but it really doesn't make sense. Technically, that is a bug, basically, but hey. We flip this normally, we get tails, and away we go. Again, at this point, you can recognize kind of parts of the animation and tell what's gonna flip. For me, I'm not good enough to tell immediately, but I can still look at it and be like, oh yeah, it's going to... And near the end of the coin flipping animation, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be heads, or it's gonna be tails. I should be able to just attack this, especially with the Iron Spear, yeah. I was about to say, there's no way. Now, the sad part is I don't have a saw yet, but that's perfectly fine for the moment. I can also do a quick check to see which books I have without needing to go into my inventory. And it seems to... I don't think I even have chalk, so never mind, I lied. Otherwise, I will say that Fear and Hunger 2 does do a good job of sprinkling its lore alongside the gameplay, as opposed to just info dumping you at the very beginning, as most games often do. And that's not always a bad thing, but that's right, I can do this. Well, alright, cool. But the unfortunate part is that it's not that it's working against Fear and Hunger's favor, it's that when you are on the map, whether there's dialogue coming up or not, your hunger is still going. So as you're reading a document, or even sometimes reading even a skin Bible, I believe, that counts too, your hunger is decreasing and so is your sanity. So if you take the time, like if you go AFK standing right here, you're gonna go hungry and you may die. So in the game. So but that's all solved by just hitting menu, so shrug, right? We do get recipes for food, but I'm gonna do a thing and skip these shelves on the left, just to see if that changes anything for me. We do get something. Get a rusty pipe. We don't have a saw yet, so we don't even have any heads. Occult Grimoire, don't need. And let's go. We're probably not gonna need those limbs. And I'm Levy, so I don't need to stop here to look at this event. That being said, Abella's great for speedruns. I don't even need to I don't need to grab this, but just in case I run into a thingamajiggy later on when I'm going through the forest west side, I guess I might as well pick it up. Otherwise, bullets and an herb. I didn't see what the middle one was. And off to the Mayor's Manor we go. Basically, yeah, it's going to be a while before you see really any significant changes with this mod. And it looks like I'm going through day one morning route, but I'm not. I'm just doing this for Abella's sake. So, we get more handgun ammo. Skin Bible. Nothing. Skin Bible. I don't think I needed any of those, though. I think I got Rur and thing. Well, there's Sylvian, I think. I tried to read the names. Let's actually do this. Just to heal some mind, question mark? No. I lied to myself. Well, hey. I also completely forgot that you can just heal mind in safe locations, but for the moment, we'll be fine. So glass shards, and just basically a lot of looting to be done. No reason to do otherwise. Unless you're, again, speedrunning. Or just going through the game and you're confident enough with what you get. But I'm not, so... Mushroom stew, duct tape. Who knows why there's mushroom stew in that urn, but hey. I do enjoy the... If we're to talk about it, I think we can too. But, let me just make sure. Do I have a bear trap, by the way? I could do a thing. No, I don't, do I? Nope. Well, we should be able to break down this door regardless. So I do like the way that this game treats the way you get items. For those, oh my goodness, I think it's because the Iron Spear actually has lower accuracy, but you know, and by that I mean it actually lowers your accuracy. But anywho, door's too strong. So when you go pick up an item, really, I have to wrench toss. I guess I will. When you interact with certain, you know, shelves or urns in this case, what happens is the game goes towards and basically handles an event that essentially rolls a random number, and that's kind of normal for most games, you know, in terms of handing you a random item. But at least in Fear and Hunger's case, to its credit, and there are different ways to do it, but in Fear and Hunger's case, it looks at basically it calls a certain event based on the type of inventory that it's looking through. Basically, it's also easy to run a randomizer on this game if you want to mod in a randomizer, which people have done. But in a way, the game itself is a randomizer as well. But yeah, it looks through. So basically, if you look through these barrels, it gives you, say, it goes through an event called barrel, and it hands you a random item from this event. And it probably rolls a bunch of things like you're not going to find a gun in a barrel, but you will find a lot of, you will frequently find a lot of food items in a barrel. Whereas if you search a shelf, as we do get a bear trap here, as you look through a shelf, you will, and I know you can jump down there, I'm choosing not to for sake. I feel like it is a bug, and I know I've said this often enough already, but I feel like it's important to repeat. Yeah, if you search through a shelf, the game calls a different set of events, or maybe, you know, it calls through a category of, like, say, shelf, and it gives you a shelf item, which could be anything from ammo to something else, usually some kind of thing like bolts, a pressure plate. And then the urns are, well, as you can see, you can grab just food from them, or I think there's even ammo in them sometimes, but hey. Let's use this, just mainly coming in here to do this. And then, obviously, from win chests, when you succeed these flips, the loot pool can, and it is often, normally better. We got armed cards, by the way, that'll help out. I'm also a lot hungrier than I expected to be. I wonder why. Actually, we did heal our mind. I was looking in the wrong place. I thought mine was sanity and sanity was mind. Or hunger, sorry. We should eat... Nah, we can wait a bit longer. Now, the funny part is that if I go check really quickly... It's also because I was kind of just standing around. But, if we go check the door that you could be entering from if you jump down... I don't think you can actually attack this door. Maybe you can, but I think it's actually stronger. Let's take a look. Basically, some doors have 1000 HP, but... Can we do this? Yeah. So, I just look at it's a reinforced door for good reason. And it probably needs at least 500, 750 HP, which, well, it's definitely more than 500 HP, but you get the point. It's a lot stronger than normal, and for good reason. It's hiding... one possibly good thing and one very good thing behind it. So hey, but as we exit the manor here, we will eat something. I might as well just feed Abella as well. That way I can just keep... That's why it's easier for me to remember, because when you're under the effect of hunger, it takes some time for it to wear off, which you don't want when you run into pretty much anything, really. But anywho, I did give Abella the... Yeah, I'm just gonna play it safe here. Even though I feel if I had to put my chips down, I'm pretty sure I won't be able to low roll into not defeating the enemy through torso. I'll force the door open. I did not do the thing, did I? No, I did. Okay. We don't have to loot this place, I'm choosing to. Considering I'm gonna be having Abella and Marina with me the whole playthrough, yeah, we probably need more food. Even though you should normally have more than enough, but we'll see. Actually, let me think about that. So for example, if I couldn't craft food, would you have enough to feed 3 party members and yourself for the rest of the run? For some reason, I feel like the answer is no. But, anywho. I don't think there's anything else. Is there? Oh, wow. I don't remember. It's been a while since I did a complete run-through. Even though I recently did for my Batsu stream, but... Anywho. Come here. Please tell me I did not do a thing, by the way. I think I did. Oh, I did. I feel like I keep wrench tossing, but I'm never re-equipping it. I must be doing so, though, because obviously I can do wrench toss here. I'm gonna walk up just to be safe, so I can equip Abella with the pipe wrench again. But, soon after, give me your rifle and give me your head. Why was it taking you so long to run into me? Anywho. We should be able to just double attack here. 350 torso, right? 350 torso? Yeah, 350 torso. Except for the guy with the pipe who can lay down bear traps. He has a bit more HP for whatever reason. I mean, for a good reason. I think he does? What I feel like he does. Man, I need to remember these values. Anywho. Let's not step in a bear trap, so I'm just going to actually walk through this. Waste about like a second of my own life, but we're also going to loop around and grab that. Well, 2 shillings. More bear traps. That being said, so a common, I'm not going to say criticism, I don't think it's criticism, but a common thing to note about fear and hunger in general is that these things are devastating when you know, accidentally trigger them, like the bear traps. The part about them, though, is that they are very easy to avoid if you're paying, if you're usually, you know, not curious and like, oh, what does this do? Step in a bear trap. Surprised face. But otherwise, aside from, you know, other gimmicks like hits that with, pits with spears on the bottom of them. Again, when you take the time to look and or learn, eventually you find out, yeah, they are actually quite easy to avoid. But at the same time, I will still make mistakes and fall into pits. Maybe I don't think have I ever fallen into a pit yet in World Fear and Hunger. Oh my goodness, why do I keep making that mistake? By the way, I also need to do a quick little adjustment, because my fingers... I'm trying to think, what could you mess up in this game? I guess technically the mob, because it is RNG when they spawn, but at the same time, even then, although it is kind of just exploiting, it makes no sense lore-wise, but you can take steps to cheese the mob, I guess, we'll say. Specifically near the apartments area, but otherwise, there aren't... I think there may be 1 or 2 other mob spots. I know there's at least 1 other mob spot. But, what I'm trying to say is that... You can pretty much avoid the rest of the mob spawn locations. No, that's not true. Yes, kind of. No, you can't. But at the same time, that one also has a... Yeah, that place... west. I think it is strictly west, but I'm gonna call it west for the moment. Yeah, west also has a location that triggers the mob, but you can do some magic there. So yeah, even that has its counterplay. At the same time, you could also just run away, but yeah, and you can run from them, but you do have to be, you know, you do have to move efficiently, otherwise you will get caught. No, not the left arm, you fool. And by fool, I mean me, because I'm the one in control. But again, that just comes with... So, I guess we're speaking about RPG Maker in general, because Fear and Hunger, both 1 and Termina, were made in RPG Maker. Why taking all the heads? Guess to level up. Sorry, get perks, that's the more accurate thing, because I'm going to be able to get to the temple area morning 1, but I'm going to purposely pass time, which means just to loop back, I'm grabbing heads so I can get more perks. For better or worse, though, I won't be able to get Abella or Marina's perks in this run, but that's perfectly fine. Also, I don't need to loop around this much, but I am. Just to grab more heads, really. Basically, this is the normal route I take when I play Termina. You can definitely make it a lot faster. I don't need to go through this, but it's more consistent for me, basically. Loot, and then saw off the head. But yeah, if we're talking about RPG Maker, there are things that, you know, developers like to add into RPG Maker games, mod-wise, or, you know, plugins as we'll call them here, because that's how you kind of make it so that you can move diagonally, so that you can implement certain things, whether in battle or on the overworld, as we'll call it. As we're walking around here, we'll call it the overworld. And they can cause certain bugs. One example is you can pull up once you have the map, and you can check the map of Prehevel. Prehevel? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Once you can check the map, there are things you can do that causes that. So the act of pulling up the map, I forgot what button it is. Maybe M. Yeah, it's M. Doing that can cancel certain things in the game from happening. In particular, if you know how to do it correctly, you can cancel getting caught by certain things. Let's just say. And that's just a thing that you can make some workarounds, but I'm trying to think of an actual, not concise, but what I'm trying to say, not simplified either, but a more coherent way to make it so that even if you check the map, you get caught doing certain things. But hey, let me just make sure Abella has the wrench equipped. She does. And we'll move on. I'm gonna wrench toss. I feel like I can. Also, if I miss, I don't think wrench toss defeats this enemy anyway. No. It wouldn't. And my kind of behind the thought behind that is that when you're playing as Abella, wrench toss, I think it can defeat enemy or easier enemies, but you can low roll is what I'm trying to say. So yeah. Also, random reminder that if you 3-rev into a firearm attack, you only waste 1 bullet still, which sounds odd as well. But again, like I said, at that point, I mean, you're immersed enough already, you don't need to worry about spending 1 bullet to attack twice. In my opinion, anyway. But let's see here. Oh, I didn't grab your head, really? 2, 3, 4, 5, and then skip. That's kind of how I count how to move between, because to skip that properly without wasting as much time. So if you're gonna look at speed running, like, you know, making average, you probably don't even cut off heads anyway, but if you want to make it faster, it would probably help to learn. So what I mean by that is I'm basically waiting for, like, when you're listening to the sound of the saw and the heads, I listen 5 times, and after the 5th one, I let go and I go towards message skip. For those who don't know or don't know as much about Fear and Hunger Termina, at least, is that there are two buttons to skip, basically. One of them is mainly for skipping through dialogue, and the other one makes animations faster. And the reason why that's important is that, specifically speaking, I think this is more fact. So, the button that I'm using, so basically we'll call it the dialogue skip button. The dialogue skip button does not speed up animations at all, but it goes through dialogue a lot faster, while the animation skip button makes animations faster, but if you hold it through dialogue, the dialogue, as you can see here, is a lot slower, as opposed to just, you know, speeding through. So there is kind of a finesse in switching between the inputs to make sure you can speed up animations, and then predicting when dialogue comes out and skipping through the dialogue, if you're skipping through the game in general. So yeah. I am itching, so I'm not going to run for a moment while I rub my hand against my thigh to scratch. And we get nothing. So that's another example. Flipping the coin, you can skip the animation of flipping the coin. Even though it doesn't go any faster, it speeds through the animation enough so that the dialogue comes back up, and then you therefore skip. That's how I'm getting faster coin flips, but normally how you do it again. And I think pretty much anyone will teach you the same who knows Fear and Hunger Termina. But anywho. A lot of small keys. I might as well just go back and loot a bunch. In my opinion, you don't need more than 3 small keys if you really even need that much, but I say 2 because 1 is just to get into the city without needing to do anything drastic, and the other one I just use here so I can loop back around quickly. Not that I need to, I'm mainly doing it just to loot this place. So, by the way, also as a random note, anyone is free... Hold on, let me just check this really quickly. So there's a gasoline canister. That'll make it easier later on. And I think we just kind of walk through the bottom here. Nothing at the top, really. Oh, when I say bottom, I mean down here. I was going to say something I forgot. Move on. I guess I might as well. Chalk and duct tape. You can get chalk from there? Okay, well. Hey. And there's another wooden chest here. We do get something. Pep pills, that'll help. And yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. If you're watching the stream live, please let me know if there's anything you would like me to go over. Especially if it's something that I forgot that I was talking about. But anywho. So we do want to just unlock this really quickly. You can unlock this from behind here, but if you're trying to unlock it from the other side, you need the short circuit perk. Or a Bella in your party if you're not playing as a Bella. Or don't have the perk. I'm not trying to force the door open. I could, but I think it has like 1,000 HP. And away we go. So I forgot. I was going to mention something. I really forgot. But hey, it's fine for the moment. Oh, Fear and Hunger 2 Termina. There's also an occasional reminder to myself that I should probably go through Fear and Hunger 1 on this channel at some length, whether stream and or videos, but busy doing my own stuff. Mainly game development stuff, which I mostly play with RPG Maker, so hey. That being said, no, I'm just going to say this outright. I am not... I don't want to say famous. What am I trying to say? I've not made a game that has been popular, basically. Some people like to attribute or try to figure out what my game was, because I mentioned that in the past. I do have games that are out there, but none of them are inherently popular. And therefore, I am not certain developers that people think I am. Which, again, is a topic that's come up before, but I'm not anyone magnificent. I would let you know if that was the case, because then there would be no hiding it. But in this case, no, no. Funny enough, though, I would like to play a few RPG Maker games on this channel, but yeah, I mean, Fear and Hunger is one of them, but when I say that, I mean focusing on more RPG Maker games. By the way, I think I would rather do this because I think the Iron Spear is less accurate. It's not really a loss of attack anyway, so hey, can we get a shotgun shell for our trouble? But let's just do that. I could fight Headless here. Headless. What am I saying? Moonless, sorry. And I forgot what else I was going to say. I think I do need to do this really quickly, right? Yeah. Inner then outer. Or inner then right, because, yeah, we need to do a bunch of stuff. But we do want to open up this area for Abella's sake. Because of mod reasons. But anywho. We can also look at the door diagonally to interact with it, which causes a certain bug here, so that's one of the things. So, allowing... and again, there's a way to fix it. And there are definitely band-aid fixes, but let me just explain it. So basically, because you can interact with doors diagonally, what can happen is, in this game, most doors sometimes spit you out. Did I do a thing, by the way? I feel like I didn't. Did I? No, I did not. Well, back down we go. But because you can, so, as is to be expected, when you enter a door, or you go through a door, you come out in front of the door. Why that's a problem is that, and I can demonstrate, I was going to demonstrate in a moment, but say that I'm coming out of these back rooms, but then there is an item right in front of the door as well, as happens with this one specifically. I think I can do it here. Can I do it here? I can. So if I come out... Oh, never mind. That one is... So that one's bugged. Oh, that makes sense because, you know, it would have been... You would have kept it in mind to do something there, but if you do that for the right side, I think what happens... I don't want to bug myself out, is that you spawn inside of the box, and then therefore you can move left and right. But if you move right, obviously you get stuck in a corner. That's a small little bug that can cause a soft lock because you're stuck behind the box. For whatever reason. I think you are? Why am I saying... Why is that not the case? I'm going crazy. Anywho. Let's just move this really quickly. But I know you can get stuck, and that can cause some problems. Now, obviously, a band-aid fix would just be add an event where, you know, there's something blocking the door, as you just saw, but there are multiple occasions of this, but really this is the main kind of issue that may happen when you're adding in diagonal movement. So it's something to be wary for. It's not a mistake where it's not, it's not, you haven't, no one's done anything wrong, but just to be wary, when you add diagonal movement or free movement in some games, you do want to make sure that the player can't go through the wall, which is something I've done too, so I learned very quickly. It's like, oh yeah, maybe, and you could call it lazy to just say, oh, I'm not going to add diagonal or free movement in the game, but sometimes it's a better choice. Sometimes. But oftentimes, for the player's sake, free movement is something that it's a very modern mechanic to add to RPGs for good reason. So, yeah. So, yeah, right now I could diagonally enter the door, but we're just going to push it all the way here, just so that we don't make any mistakes later on. It's here I realize that I've spent a lot of time doing the thing. But I think what I'm going to do is try to loop back to a safe place and then kind of go AFK. That way I can at least do 2 things at once, and we're not just sitting around doing nothing. But we'll see. Because it's well before I get to pre-evil bop. And yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. So, hey. Which also means I should probably say something else, but hey. Things. But yeah, if I'm going to go AFK, I might as well wait until I get back to the train or into pre-evil bop. Which is where you can, if you haven't watched certain videos talking about things about the game, which I highly recommend you do if you're really stuck on Fear and Hunger for whatever reason. I keep saying world, and I'm not supposed to do that, but yeah, if I'm gonna spend time just sitting around waiting for mine to heal, I might as well do that. Gameplay-wise, it's a smart reason. It's a smart thing to do that anyway, because do I need to go to the church at all? I feel like the answer is yes. If for no other reason than to grab the bolt cutters, but I can go left. No. Let's go towards the church first, because I'm gonna go through the apartment area to get to pre-evil bop. Is my line of thinking. I forgot what I was talking about. Well, off I go. Also, a quick little fun thing to note is that the first time you check different containers, you have extra lines of dialogue, but after about 5 checks, so after I check about 5 trash cans, the game will just say that you got an item. So, for example, like these barrels, it just says you find an egg or something. But trash cans, I have never checked a trash can, so it'll still say you'll search the trash for anything useful. But then this next trash can here just says you find an ornamental after. Hey, needles. Unfortunately, we're ducking into the church, so you're gonna get reset. But for the moment, and then also a little quick tip: pretty much, you don't want to light up any. If you normally lighting up unlit candles or unlit spots that can be lit by matches recovers 10 mine, I believe. But unfortunately, in the church, in some areas of the game, including I think the basement of the church, if you light up candles, you don't get any mind healing. Maybe it's the church, but I think I'm making a mistake. Anywho, we also don't want to proc. Actually, do we? Can I one-shot Osa here so I don't have to fight him later? I think I'm gonna be entering the tunnels anyway. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Anywho, basically, there are some areas in where you light up candles where you won't heal any mind, where regularly you would be able to. But otherwise, the other way to increase your mind, aside from, using items that increase your mind, or sanity in this case, whatever you want to call it, is sitting in locations that are quote-unquote safe. One of them is pre-evil bop, the other one is the train. Let's not jump off this place. I could go down, I think it's Bettles down there. Actually, let's find out. If I move fast enough, I shouldn't get caught here. Question mark. And now I want to be very careful. 1, 2, 3, and then down the ladder I go. Can't catch me, I'm Levy the mercenary. But anywho. So as, to talk about the mod just for a short moment, I basically, in every major-ish update, I'm pretty much going to add fun dialogue here and there. So just so you know, so when you hit, well, on an American keyboard, when you hit T, you get comments by party members. But there are other times in which I may or may not add stuff, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It's not really going to affect you, but hey. I think this is mind per turn in battle. Also, basically, this is also a ReZero Fear and Hunger playthrough, where if Abella dies or Marina dies, I pretty much have to restart the run. So I gotta be very careful about making sure neither party member dies. And obviously, myself. But let's get rid of this one. And away we go. I'm pretty sure I did a thing here, didn't I? Wait, I shouldn't even be grabbing this? Well, I can, actually. So, we might as well do some more bug fixing. So, what I mean by that is... So, I just did a thing that can trigger an affection increase. But I should be able to come back even though it's empty. And we should be just fine. I don't think I've triggered anything here. Right? No. So, back down we go. No, stay away from me. Stay back. We'll pick up Samari really quickly here. We might as well. And off we go. I could loop back to the train here. Wait, because no, I can't, because the elevator is a lot deeper into the ground. So never mind, I lied. Well, alright. Give me these barrels first. Don't want to fight Samari just yet. So, we're just going to do this. Did I mess that up? I don't remember. Okay, I did. What's her name? It's not safe. Let's return. Doesn't matter. Get to the train. I'll meet you there. Okay. And off we go. Nothing much else to do here. I think I've done everything I needed to do. Yeah, I think I've done everything I needed to do. Now, I do need to get back to the surface, which can be a trek in itself, as a lot of players have found out in this church area. But I think... Wow, really? Is there nothing here? I was about to say. That way we can get rid of some RNG here. I'm just going to use the ammo here. 2, 3... Doesn't go through both of them, I don't think. But we'll make do. Now, my other hope is that this death mask doesn't wake up. I think this death mask activates immediately, but let's hope that doesn't happen. So, yeah. Okay, good. That means another one is activated, and I've lost track of where the other one... Never mind, I see you. I see you! Haha! Search. That's not the thing. These guys can also have soul stones for whatever reason, but none of them dropped them. So, sadness. And yeah, we're now free to loot all this good stuff. So these barrels usually only have food items, but the boxes... Yeah, I know Future Jordan has changed thumbnails. I still have not changed a bunch of thumbnails, by the way, so I'm still a bit sad for myself, but... Yeah, that'll happen. So usually it'll happen after the stream, I just don't know when. Which is not good, by the way. I should change them immediately, but... For the moment... Out of curiosity, I'm pretty sure I can't use this elevator yet. Right? Oh, I can. Never mind. This should unlock the elevator for the other parts of it. No. Yeah, I just can't go to the lower basement, question mark? I'm pretty sure. Let me just do this really quickly. Yeah, and while our mind is falling, yeah, we'll take a little break here. So this is not something I normally do, but I'm going to head back to the train now. Let me just make sure I don't step in a bear trap. And away we go. But yeah, just to repeat one more time, if for no one else than myself, I usually change thumbnails after the stream. Now, it may be like a couple of days or a week or a couple of weeks after. Really, I should do it as soon as the stream ends, but sometimes I have to take a break just to refresh myself and then change thumbnails. But definitely this stream also needs a changed thumbnail. But anywho. So yeah, so we'll use this moment to heal our mind because it's going a bit low. I think you only really care if it reaches 0, right? Because that's when you get panophobia, the fear of everything, which is a big accuracy and evasion decrease. I'm pretty sure it's accuracy. I can't remember. Well, anywho, yeah. Normally I would talk while I'm sitting in the train, but because I have things to do in real life really quickly, we'll take the moment to go AFK. So yeah, for you too, the viewer, go get a drink or just skip ahead if you're watching this as a VOD. And yeah, I think I can interact with this too. So this, hey Abella, what are you thinking about? Scrap metal a while back, you can use that. Let me check. Don't everything exactly, can do something about it. Okay, really? You maybe I need to nerf that. Because yeah, this is quite a lot. I already checked the required amount of shelves to do a thing, but I'm trying to make sure. Well, I guess I can slowly tweak the values, but anywho, that's I think that's a point of a Bella affection increase. We can check that really quickly before we do anything else. But let's also, I probably should just eat food too. Yeah, I'll just eat food to be safe. I can also drop a Bella off. I should have just done that, but we could drop her. Oh, no, wait, no, we can't because we need Abella's mind to heal. Never mind, I lied to myself. Want to tag along? Away we go. And yeah, we kind of just stand here. So without further ado, I'll see you in about 3 to 5 minutes. We'll see. I think I need more time than that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I need like 7 minutes to heal all mine. But we'll see. So let me just set OBS to do stuff. So where's the thing? There and blah, blah, blah. I should actually just put in a bunch of text. So that. But basically, we're going AFK. So Future Jordan, you know what Future Jordan should also do? He should add timestamps, but healing mine too. But what I really want to do, as I fail to size this correctly, is do things, but also set up a timer. So yeah, basically I'll see you in a moment. But if you have things to do them now. I'll be back before you know it. And before you know it, I mean, well, things. Oh, I'm trying to change the color of something. It's not changing. Because you know what? Why? Because I'm changing the wrong thing. Oh my sweet goodness. Alright. We do that. Move this around. I'm doing things on OBS so you can't see. But I also need to add this thingy-majiggy. So that you know exactly when I'll be back. Actually, I could do that. Really? No, I can't. I mean, I could. Yeah, I could. So we're going to do that. And we're going to do this. Oh my sweet goodness. Change the color, Jordan. And now we will do a thing. So yeah, I'll be back just taking care of things. I'll probably need to come back, take another break anyway. Not a break, but I would probably need to go AFK again anyway. But we're going to set this because we're healing mind in the meanwhile. Out of curiosity, how much mind did I heal so far? Okay, quite a lot, actually. Never mind, 5 minutes. All right. Shouldn't be more than 5 minutes, and I will see you in a moment. Oh, help! Jordan, no! Come back, Jordan! Why were you not here when it happened? Yeah, I know, I'm sorry! Oh! Well, future Jordan definitely has to put a timestamp now, because otherwise I'm gonna feel really bad. Gosh dang it me, but yeah, without further ado, yeah, our hunger should have depleted a bit, and we didn't need to stand there for that long for that amount of time, but hey, we're good now. Now, that's not going to hold me until the end of the run, but it'll hold me for a while. And yeah, definitely, well, the good news is I don't need to go on another AFK. The bad news is I went AFK for longer than expected, so rip my hunger. Fear and hunger. I swear it's not a pun. But in the meanwhile... So what are we doing? We're in the church. Yeah, we're on the church, then we're going to move west towards the apartments, question mark? I think that's the plan. Because I definitely need to get to Evil Bob. Basically trying to get to the temple area. And if you really do, if for some reason this is one of your first Fear and Hunger 2 streams to watch, or videos or content in general, just know that, at least gameplay-wise, you're going to see a lot. More than you probably expect, but less than you can actually experience in Fear and Hunger 2 Termina. Because boy are there a bunch of things. I feel like there's another game that, where you're not actually going to see a lot if you play through it efficiently, but if you start failing and doing weird things here and there, you'll actually see there's actually a lot more than you expect, perhaps even double the amount of content. But that's assuming you fail and do stuff weird. And as it turns out, a lot of them happen to be RPG Maker games for whatever reason, but hey, we can also actually still do the confessional. I think I actually have enough affection points, so let's actually find out. I didn't save it, by the way, so... But this would help out. I think. Well, we're gonna find out. Hello. Forgive me. I think you have to say something, right? I've killed... It was self-defense. I was in a war. I was a mercenary. No, never seen before. No, I don't feel. Levy doesn't feel it. I felt remorse and guilt. Is that an act of support normal or judging I? No, I really feel bad about it. Actions have consequences. I was rewarded. Oh my. Mysterious are the ways of Almer, who in this case is supposed to be the metaphor in this lore in World of Fear and Hunger as Jesus Christ, but hey, I will try not to resort to it again. What am I playing? I'm playing Fear and Hunger 2 Termina, and if you already knew that, then you're asking that kind of in a figurative way, then yeah, I'm actually playing around with the mod that I made. And my mod is not perfect. In fact, it has a bunch of typos and at least 2 bugs that I don't want in. One of them actually causing a soft lock of sorts. So we're playing just to make sure that I've at least... Oh, very funny. Playing to at least try to find the bug or see if I solved it. Because I did make changes. So this is basically an updated version of the mod. Just for mainly bug fixes. And I think Abella should be able to help me out here. I think we can one-shot him. 500 HP? 450? Yeah. That's not normal, by the way. That's due to the mod. So I made it so that if you have... For those who don't know, if you get enough affection, the person who has affection will help you out in fighting against other contestants. Now, that some people might ask, well, doesn't that make the game easier? I thought the whole point was to make the game harder with the mod. Or I thought you said that the difficulty increases with the mod. It does, overall. But... And by far, you know... Getting rid of contestants is something you can do solo anyway, regardless of who they are. So, there are very few cases of, hey, using the affection mod, the mod that I'm using and have made, is a lot better for you difficulty-wise than not, because, well, now you have to deal with the consequences. Unless you just decide to get rid of the contestants you have affection for later on, but that's not really the reason why you played the mod, is it? Am I gonna get trapped by 2 Bobbies, by the way? And yeah, the aggro system of the game allows that. There are different ways to handle it as well. I think still that the developer for Fear and Hunger handled aggression, or the aggroing enemies. By aggroing, I mean the way that enemies, you know, run towards you, or walk towards you, or approach you when they see you on the overworld. Did I do a thing? I did. Okay, good. Because I've seen other cases of enemies just being blah. And yeah, sometimes it seems that Fear and Hunger enemies are bad in terms of trying to find you and just get stuck somewhere. And they can be exploited here and there, but trust me, there are at least 3 different games I can think of off the top of my head that handle them worse. So yeah, and for all intents and purposes, I mean, if you had firearms in most of these situations anyway, it's not like it's gonna change too much. Oh, and yeah, but I actually should fight this guy. Let me just make sure I did the pipe wrench, and yeah, for justice and order. But we're also gonna do this. I don't think Abella should be faster than me here. Fear and Hunger 1, Fear and Hunger 2, to be exact. But we are indoors. Hiya! Fear and Hunger 1 is something I've yet to play on this channel. Did he not die? Well, let's try that again. I was about to say, we lost HP for no reason. And by far, just to speak on the topic of Fear and Hunger 1 and 2, Termina. I'll say Termina. It's 2, too. I'm looking at the window of the game. It says Fear and Hunger Termina 2. But, well, Camilla, I think we needed 3? Is that the one we needed? Yeah. No? Yes. But let me see here. I think we're good. Climb over. And let's see here. Yeah, so I definitely know a lot more about Fear and Hunger 2 than I do about Fear and Hunger 1. In fact, if I played Fear and Hunger 1 right now, I would be floundering around. To some extent. Obviously, I know the kind of the opener of the game, but afterwards, like, efficiently moving down towards the end of the game is something that I would not be able to do, like, just, if I started streaming it right now, you would see me flailing around. But I mean, that's kind of the normal experience for everyone, right? Heck, even in the very beginning of the game, where things happen, to not spoil things. In case for anyone who hasn't played Fear and Hunger 1. Did I grab any other skin Bibles, by the way? No. That is that. Rur, Sylvian, and Grogaroth, which none of them are really going to do anything for me. They can. Magic is very overpowered in this game, but I'm not a magic user. And by that, I mean, like, a player who is familiar with working with magic successfully. It's not too hard to figure out, but I just never really tinker with it, so my muscle memory isn't there in terms of, okay, do I remember, and then do I know how to do it properly? But anywho. And there is kind of some decision-making you have to do if you're playing as a magic character, but for the most part, usually it's learning, you know, what kind of magic strat you're going to use. I was thinking about looting those trash cans, but meh. I actually want needles to appear here. Otherwise, what am I doing here? Yeah, I think we're just going to skip. We are Levy. I could grab wine, but no. There's needles, by the way. I really don't remember how to animation skip into dialogue skip for this part. I don't think so. Darkness isn't quite over yet. And we have one contestant head. Really? Who? Osa. I just fought Osa. I'm going crazy. Would have liked to buy something here. Otherwise, the only other time to meet Pocket Cat is way later, quote unquote, later in the game. Which is not good, but hey. If I were able to fight those bobbies properly and felt confident in doing so, we can, but I would get rid of needles now, but I don't feel comfortable. So, off to the apartments we go. Let's also do let's also cheese this as well. So what we're gonna do is do some stuff with these things here. Actually, I need a pistol first before I do this, right? Yeah, I do. So never mind. Let's hope that well, okay, let's try to dodge this. I don't know where you are. Okay, good. Walk past. Nope. I lied! No! Okay, we ran into these first, but I'm pretty sure I'm stuck here. Well. Discard. We might be dead here. This is a terrible place to run into Everything? Nope. Yeah, it's right ahead. It's right in front of me. Oh, this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. Yeah, we have to run right instead. Nope, it's not gonna happen. I think we're dead. Hit me at least? No, wait, that kills me. Never mind, I lied. Well, what a fun day today. But yes, I didn't make... Oh, actually, well, no, I didn't make a single save, did I? Nope. So, back in we go. Skip the intro. And yeah, actually, we're gonna try to speed through this time. Gotta do something with this stream. But I'm well prepared. We just want to happen. Listen, if you play either of the Fear and Hunger 2s extensively, was that body armor, by the way? No, I went crazy. Bear trap, that's gonna be nice. Actually, I can immediately get rid of the woodsman now. But yeah, if you play either Fear and Hunger 2 extensively, you are definitely going to have a lot longer time played. If for no other reason than when you die and you didn't save, yeah, back you go. Some people still feel frustrated about that in games, and I might be contradicting myself here with something I've said before, but in the case of Fear and Hunger, I think it's quite understandable. I don't think every game needs you to be able to save no matter where you want, because it makes you, if nothing else, for some people at least, but I feel it's true in a majority of cases, or for a majority of players, it makes you a more careful player. So it prevents you from taking reckless actions where, you know, you would normally just brute force it out. You have to actually think of some strategies and think of what you want to do. Or just sit there and think for a moment and, you know, not just turn your brain off. In a very minute case, we can say that it stops you from saving before opening a wooden chest and just doing it over and over again. Because if that were the case, you might as well just be giving yourself the correct item every time you run into certain chests and whatnot. But really, overall, the fact that you don't have any saves, one, also plays into the immersion and the lore of World of Horror, Fear and Hunger, Fear and Hunger, but also makes for me in particular, if you were to ask my opinion, it makes for more interesting gameplay, because then it gives you decisions like whether or not you want to heal immediately and whatnot, whether or not you feel it's safe to save, how efficient you think you can be when you are, you know, trying to just do day 1 morning strats or waiting for day 2, where obviously things can change in between the time periods in which you sleep, story-wise. Another example, if we were to think about it right now, is if for whatever reason I just lose to Tanaka here, which does present, you know, some interesting fan fiction if you want to go that far, and by that meaning, you know, what if the player attacks Tanaka and then Tanaka wins, and then Tanaka's like, what the heck, I got the soul, and it's like, oh, Tanaka things, but Tanaka, how do I want to pronounce that name? Someone who's learned Japanese, by the way. 今日本語喋ったらちょっと it's not going to be very great. I'll tell you that much. But anywho, and that's not often a phrase I use. Something basically what I said was if I were to speak Japanese right now, it wouldn't be very good. Or I was trying to imply that. But anyway, as we defeat Tanaka here, Tanaka. I got to figure out how I want to pronounce that in particular. But anywho, moving on. Yeah. 日本語はまだちょっともっと練習しなくちゃならないけど本当一緒に練習 my body. I don't really have anyone to practice Japanese with, basically. Even though that's something due to myself. So basically, it is my own fault. In fact, I should probably just wait here. Alright, I mean, I could just walk in and out, but I think I should be able to one-shot him with the knife here. Termina is upon us. Yeah, come here. Haha, you fool. I would say something even worse, but I'm ready to defend myself, just so you know. Yeah. Haha. And now you get a pretty good weapon. So basically, if you find a bear trap before on the train, you can just do that. Same thing for Best Boy Moonless in Fear and Hunger 1. So yeah, obviously I know certain things about Fear and Hunger 1. A lot of things, really. But actually playing the game is not something I've done frequently. And I really should do. There's no reason not to. But obviously for lore-related reasons, I did get familiar with Fear and Hunger 1. So, let's do this. Occult Grimoire does nothing for me. And down we go. But yeah, so if I were to try to get into the dev's mind, just for the sake of kind of thinking of how the game design, I guess, the game design of Fear and Hunger 1 and what the developer expected. I assume the developer wanted you, well, maybe they wanted you to expect you to sleep immediately, but I would assume that they expect you to really get stuck trying to enter the city. So you're still in town trying to do certain things, but yeah, you can't exactly get into the city, and so you rest once on the train. You go back to the train, you rest, and then usually you fight the mayor or do something else. I really forget what other ways there are into the city, but I think the mayor is usually the way most players get into the city. With the mayor's key, and then either Pav giving you the other key, or you find your way through the sewers. I can't remember if it's the sewer key. I think it's the sewer key that Henrik and the mayor gives you. But anywho. But usually, yeah, as you've seen me do, I normally get through the... I normally go through the sewers with a small key and a Bella by your side. Not having a Bella tends to be a very, oof decision, basically. But anyway, have this rotten meat. And now we one rev twice. And one shot. Really? Only 300 HP? Anywho. No, I have the axe. I'm going crazy. I was like, how did I do that much damage with the knife? No, I'm using the axe right now. I'm pretty sure I'm using the axe right now. I am. I completely forgot my own strategy. I don't often get a bear trap on a train. I know I've done it before, but not often. That's why I didn't remember that I had the axe equipped. But anyway, let's grab a Bella again. I said I was going to go faster, proceeded not to go faster. I found this hatch. Let's check it out. Don't ya? What are these tunnels used for? You're more than welcome. Hold me. But anywho. That was also bad luck for the mob, which is why we ended the first run early. So for anyone tuning in now, or skipping ahead in the VOD, and wondering why I'm back in these tunnels as Levi with a Bella by my side, it's because... Let me just look at this for a moment. Soulstone. Well, that will help. That's one free perk, but... It's because I got bad RNG in the mob and I decided to corner myself rather than play it safe. Not that I didn't have a... In fact, I did have a weapon, but I decided for whatever reason not to use the rifle ammo. I should have just played it safe. And those are the kind of decisions I'm talking about when you're playing World of... Fear Hunger 2! I'm just gonna slap myself with the pinned comment. Anywho. By the way, how much rifle ammo do I have right now? 7? Do I want to figure out if I can defeat needles right now or not? I could. I can also just open this. Never mind. That's right, the power's not on. We do get something from here. Bremen gas mask. I forgot if this stops poison or the other effect. I don't know for sure, but I know you can enter that. Oh wait, you can actually enter that. No, you can't. I'm going crazy. Right? You just stop there? You do. Let's find out. I might as well just do this. I'm gonna get more anyway. One. Oh, never mind. It doesn't hit him here for whatever reason, so we're just gonna save the ammo. Goodness. I messed that up, but it's fine. Let me at least lose him. I think. Oh, never mind. Okay, good. Now I can turn this on safely. Kind of. He's gonna eventually go back towards the locker room area, if he can, even. He can't, but... What I'm trying to say is that we don't have to worry about needles anymore. Run, Levy, run! Ow, my neck. But yeah, otherwise, what did I do? I could go fight Moonless for giggles, but I have the axe already. In fact, I got the Kasara last playthrough, but now we have the axe. So, yeah, we're gonna figure out if I want to fight Moonless earlier or not, because it's not like I'm picking up Marina day one morning for the purposes of debugging the mod. But let's see. In fact, the first debug I'm going to do is the Abella one anyway. But we'll see. Oh, I do need Abella affection here, so. And then into the mysterious place we go. Actually, fortunately, we picked up a skin Bible. It looked like it said rare, but I could be wrong. I didn't take a good look at the name. So off we go. I could also kite these guys and grab a pearl. Nah. Not really planning to fight any priests. Which is something I normally do anyway. But there are reasons to do that. I'm choosing not to, so yeah. Anywho. So, I know someone asked me this question once. I don't know if I ever answered it. But yes, I did make the left and right sides of the screen just, you know, for funsies, but also to have something else. Otherwise, you're just looking at either what you could do on this platform, I think on this platform, on YouTube, is change the resolution for your stream properly so that it actually fits mainly RPG Maker games. But on the other hand, you could also just fill in the sides or just add in your own, like obviously if you're streaming, you might add in chat here and there. So it's not a bad idea to just keep the game's window either same size or make it smaller and then just add in your, you know, the outlay that you use, because I completely forget that people use stream outlays for their streams. Because I usually don't. I try to make myself as less invasive as possible, and that's all I have to say. But in the case of Fear and Hunger or RPG Makers and games in general, like obviously you're working with a different resolution, which means you'll have black parts of the screen if you don't do anything. So therefore, I just added, you know, the things on the side. It did take me, I think, a few hours to make the left side of the screen, obviously. But, you know, all for fun, all for power. Anywho. We're going to run around here. So did I really get it wrong? I feel like I may have gotten it completely wrong. I'm going to try the vial thing again. Although, for all intents and purposes, I might actually just end up dying. But it's fine. In fact, oh no, we don't honor. As it is right now, we're faster than most enemies, so we don't actually want to make Abella slower, or myself slower. So let's find out. We can also do this. Should be able to one-shot. We have an axe and we have a pipe wrench. That's normally gonna one-shot most villagers if you go for the torso. If you go for the legs and then go for the head, obviously you're gonna get hit for a moment. But while we're here, this guy, however, never mind. No, I think we can still double attack the torso. I keep thinking he's the one with the pipe. He's not. He also never picked up we haven't picked up the axe yet. I think we're just gonna skip that house for time's sake. Let me see if I can do a thing here. So, without further ado, I think I have to go closer. And then he doesn't trigger. In fact, I think I actually end up fighting him if I do a thing. So, let's do this. And sneak past. Wasn't really sneaking past, but hey. We one-shot that guy anyway. So yeah, okay, I did need to move towards the left for that vial to kind of dance along with the vial. I keep thinking I have to hug the right side. It's the left side. And again, okay, so specifically, I might as well say something of value while I'm going through this again. So the reason why you can do that for the vial is because there's actually... You can actually solve that. You can band-aid fix that really quickly by adding in just another trigger event. So basically, there are parts of locations around the vial where you will, upon stepping on those areas, you'll trigger the vial running at you. Unfortunately, because diagonal movement exists in this game, The areas are set up in such a way that you can diagonally move past the areas, even though your character. And I saw the Ring of Raids, I was like, oh my goodness. But I think that's HP per turn. Yeah, but even though your character passes through those areas in a way, the game does not read that they stepped into or passed through the areas. Therefore, you don't trigger the vial. So if you think about it right now, so basically look at this. This chair is an area, and stepping down here where Abella is an area. Essentially, if you can diagonal move through this chair, I would not trigger the spot Abella's standing in and the chair. That's what's happening there. I'm pretty sure, if I didn't forget. But anywho. And that's only one of a very, I think, one of the only, if not few, situations in which that matters, because otherwise, usually the developer took good measures to make sure that things trigger. Now, like I said earlier in the stream, there's another way to really just forego all of that, as we get the ballistic shield as well. Really? Take away the eyeglasses. We don't need them. You are working with... well, actually, do you? I feel like there's... Yeah, it's because evasion exists. And if you don't change certain base things about RPG Maker in general, accuracy and evasion are actually calculated separately. That sounds odd to say, if I'm recalling correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I might be getting some part of this wrong, if not a whole bunch. But how it works is basically... So the game checks for accuracy, quote-unquote, accuracy twice. And it checks accuracy, so if your accuracy is at, say, 90%, it rolls on that 90%, but then it checks evasion, and then determines whether or not you hit again. So basically, you are rolling 2 accuracy checks. So the reason why it seems like the eyeglasses should matter is that most enemies, doors included, have 5% evasion. That's just what RPG Maker gives you. So unless you change this value, which is given by default to anything you make in RPG Maker, or you just change it with the plugin, unless you change this value, everything has a 5% evasion value. Why that matters is because even if you have like 125% accuracy, if evasion is any higher than 0%, because, as I've mentioned, there's a separate evasion roll, you end up with, again, having to roll accuracy twice. So you're 100% accuracy on the accuracy stat, but you are not 100% accuracy on the evasion stat, which, again, sounds weird, but that's how it's programmed. By the way, did we low roll both times? Oh my goodness. We could use a small key. We don't need to, though. This is one of the weakest levels of doors. So if you have 2 characters, you normally should be able to 2-shot, although you do need wrench top. Basically, you need Abella and then yourself hitting the doors. But anywho, this one unlocks from the inside. And away we go. So yeah, without further ado, although for all intents and purposes, actually no. Basically, the next time we get a chance to save, we will, probably that's going to be the end of the stream. Although the latest that's going to happen is me actually resting, so this could take me a while. Unless we'd have to find a Book of Enlightenment. But even if we find a Book of Enlightenment, we want to do a thing. Anywho. But, so all that talk about accuracy, at this point you might be wondering, well, Jordan, if everyone has 100% accuracy but there's 5% evasion, why would you ever need the eyeglasses? That's because there are actually effects in Fear and Hunger 2 Termina that lower your accuracy. Therefore, and even by enough so that the eyeglasses provide you back to 100% accuracy. So, basically that. I think the eyeglasses are even 25% accuracy. So basically, if you have any effect that is lowering your accuracy, pretty much, most of the time, having the eyeglasses equipped will allow you to hit everything with 100% accuracy, minus the evasion calculation. So, again, human logic would dictate that, human logic would assume that accuracy and evasion are calculated in one calculation. They are not, by default. So, yeah. We're still going to loot this, by the way, because I need the food. So, white vial. Every refrigerator gives you white vial if you're to take away anything from this stream. Refrigerators have white vial, which is useful to get for getting rid of nausea, and all tiers of poison. I think all tiers of poison, but at least 2 tiers of poison. But then there's also nausea and extreme nausea, which regular nausea doesn't do much aside from having your character do a visual vomit. But yeah, I think extreme nausea does debuff you in a significant way. Not terribly significant, but enough for you to be like, yeah, let's get rid of this. Otherwise, poison is the big one that you want to get rid of. And then after that, unlike Fear and Hunger 1, you have to worry... Well, in general, you worry less about infections anyway, because once you understand that green herbs get rid of infection, all infections at the same time, then yeah, it's not as scary anymore. But when you don't have any green herbs, it can get a bit scary. Or you're playing on Massa mode in Termina. I should really have thrown the monkey wrench here. I did not. But otherwise, I promise you, once we get a... I think I'll try to reach Medieval Bob if I get a... thing. A Book of Enlightenment. But if we don't, hey, we'll find out. That being said, is it possible? No, it's not, right? Or what am I saying? Not... It is possible to go through the whole game without getting the Skin Bible of Fear and Hunger if you're working on RNG alone. But if you're not, and you're defeating you're defeating contestants, you can buy a Fear... Well, obviously through Pocket Cat. That's basically what I'm trying to say. But the only other Skin Bible you can find guaranteed, I think, is the Venushka one, because you get an unedited one at Donovan's house? Question mark? Which is helpful on its own, but... Now I forget if Sylvian's the one who heals you or if it's Venushka. I always confuse the two. I feel like it's Venushka because Vine creates vines. But anywho, let me just make sure. Let me get rid of this guy so he's not chasing me. Alternatively, we get a hidey hole to hide in if we get chased by Death Mask. But I think if it's not Death Masks, they're definitely one of the tougher enemies to shoot down in the overworld. Let's find out. And actually, no, we can. There's another. There's an open spot there. Not that you're usually coming back here anyway, but obviously for most players who don't know as much about Termina, you might be wandering through locations and you get chased around by a Death Mask. So yeah. But we need these heads. Oh, is that my only one? No, okay, good. We got a second saw at some point. In fact, we may have gotten it even earlier than the guaranteed one that's to drop. That's another small, minor detail that can trip people up if you're unfortunate enough to have never picked up a saw. Is that, yeah, when saws break and you're like, oh, I could never get heads. And then you have to figure out that to cut off, to get heads in this game, in general, you need the saw item. Ooh, we got lucky here. I do actually want to equip that. In fact, I think the Dragoon helmet is better, but let's just spread out the gear. And then the only other thing is for myself, I usually remember that by the time I reach this part before entering the sewers is when I probably need to eat. But first, let's get rid of all the enemies here, which eats up like a few minutes of my time if I'm trying to do if I'm trying to go fast, but hey. Fun. Alternatively, I could just sleep now. There's no reason for me to not sleep now. It's not like I have to... It's not like Abella's locked out of any affection on day 1 evening. Or even day 2, but... Good to get as much done as possible, basically. That's what I'd assume if I were to put my chips down. I'd assume the developer expects you to get, a good amount of things done before the developer expects you to rest. Because otherwise, all you do is, you explore the town... and then you sleep, which it does. Sleeping does heal all of your HP, but you still want to get things done. Again, like I said, especially as things change as the days move on. But usually you're given that leeway. I think even as it is right now, you're still given a lot of leeway in terms of regularly, casually playing through the game. You pretty much get the whole of day 1 to kind of figure out your bearings. It's when day 2 comes that, the party can kick off. As for the specifics, I don't know every specific, but Yeah, day 2 is when it starts, things start really ramping up, and then day 3 is when you should be nearing the end. But that depends, doesn't it? So, without further ado... Oh, I wasn't skipping because I was holding the wrong button? Well, hey. Or I was I was holding simultaneous buttons, but apparently that doesn't count either. My next question is, if I actually even picked up I wasn't even watching if I picked up a Book of Enlightenment. I guess I'm gonna find out. So, did I pick one up? The answer is no. I actually just need to eat right now. We can go back to the train and heal mine, though. We can do that really quickly. That's a small detour, but... Because otherwise you have more than enough alcohol. If you're being efficient, you have more than enough alcohol as well, in a sense. But sometimes that's not true. So, never mind. Never mind, I'm a liar. In another way, alternatively, it does depend on how you play the game, so... The answer is both yes. The answer can be both yes and no. So I think the most we'll do is go fight this rifleman. Hey, Karen, by the way. What is it? Do I just miss Karen all the time? Why? Anywho. Nice to meet you. Bye. Am I really just missing Karen there the whole time? Why? Anywho. How did you get past this rifleman, Karen, by the way? Yeah, we have the axe. We should be able to just double attack the torso on Rifleman. I think the Rifleman has a bit more HP as well. But it's fine. What? I thankfully have at least 3 saws. How many of them do I have left? Now I'm just curious. I have 2 saw blades. No, nope, that's a saw blade. I am going crazy. I have 1 bone saw left. That doesn't normally happen. In fact, you can pretty much go through your whole game and never break 1 single bone saw on enemies where, on fallen enemies that, you can get their heads without breaking the bone saw. But, yeah, it's not normal. Anywho, I could be picking up these plants as well. I might as well. But anywho, bye, Karen. Am I really just missing it? I swear she's not normally there. But anywho. Let's head back. So, basically, if and when we meet Pocket Cat, especially if we defeat Osa in the church, we're gonna get a Book of Enlightenment, and that's gonna be where the stream ends. Because I feel pretty confident. Even then, we're gonna get 3 contestant heads or rest at some point, so we should be perfectly fine. And the reason why saving in the Book of Enlightenment is usually more useful than sleeping, aside from the fact that you can save anytime you want with the Book of Enlightenment, but it's that time doesn't pass, so yeah. Didn't win this coin flip. No. But I know we have a small key as long as I didn't bubble it somewhere, so yeah. Let us get back into the city. Where did I die? I died near the apartments, which was quite unfortunate, so... Maybe I'll just make videos on the rest of this run for debugging purposes. If for no other reason, then yeah, just to force myself to debug my own mod. Which is a good thing to do, by the way. It's still bugged at the moment. I haven't made any updates, so yeah, it would be to my benefit to get things done as quickly as possible. So we're not going to loot everything in this tunnel, but we are still going to loot the chest and the boxes here. If for no other reason, then there's a wooden chest. But I also got a bear trap, so that's going to help out. But let's see if we get anything cool from this wooden chest. Nope. The answer's no. So off we go. My neck. But anywho. By the way, this is kind of your reminder to, if you have any ideas that you want me to do for Fear and Hunger 2, still feel free to let me know. I mean, as it pertains to mods, I don't know. But if you want to see certain playthroughs and whatnot, I mean, feel free to shout. If you want me to get back to Massa mode, trying to do Massa mode, sure. I don't think I've ever gotten to the city as Massa mode. Or maybe I have, but not for long. That's basically my experience with Massa mode. It's not great. I think the only thing I remember are the nail placements on the floors, but hey. We're still going to do this puzzle, by the way. It only helps me to get this puzzle done. Because otherwise, if I enter the sewers for whatever reason through the deeper parts of the city and come back, I won't be able to unless I do the sewer puzzle, so hey. Basically, when you're in the sewers, just do the puzzle here. It will only help you. But yeah, otherwise, I promise you right after the stream I should get working on thumbnails, but also have a bit of other stuff to do today in real life. Because we have animals, we have pets that we need to be taken care of. But I promise I should probably work on the thumbnails today, and then get the rest of my game dev done to at least do something for the rest of this week alongside World of Horror stuff, and Fear and Hunger 2 stuff. That's pretty much gonna be what happens for the rest of this day. I might as well announce that because this is Sunday today, so, yeah. But Wednesday will probably be the World of Horror custom content stream, and then, yeah, as normal, we'll see what happens during the weekend. I want to actually not premiere, but basically start working on a game alongside, you know, people who are with this channel. And this is going to be not the game I meant for Halloween. This is just going to be the regular game that I'm not going to force anyone to buy. But yeah, I want to get that done. So I can have something I can do at least alongside this channel. But really, I do need to be working on a commercial project as well. So that's going to be what happens for the rest of my day, at least for the next 12-ish hours. But as for Fear and Hunger 2, yeah, I want to get back to this mod. And then maybe on the site, I do remember that I have to do some Levy August fanfic. It's not a shipping exactly. It's just going to be a nice little fuzzy, I'll let you know now, it's going to be a fuzzy, warm-hearted Levy August fanfic, because that's what I have to do because I failed the, I failed my, Batsu stream. I was figuring out if I needed to flip any more switches. I technically don't need to, because the only other way to get to Moonless is through the sewers anyway, so I don't even need to push this box until I need to come push this box, basically. Anywho, back into the city I go. Let me take a drink while I am ascending this ladder. Handgun ammo. Food. What is a goulash, by the way? I don't even know what it is. I'll admit I don't even know what it is. I know it's a food, obviously. But anywho. And obviously a lot of these things are very European referenced. Ooh, a salmon snake rune. Well, not getting anything cut off today. Yeah, limb losses, burns, and bleeding, which all of those are important. I think that is the go-to. Yeah, it's the go-to accessory for limb loss, but really other debuffs. But basically got really lucky. Otherwise, all I had in the previous run were arm guards, which was not as great. I mean, it's still appreciated. Because I don't think, aside from bear traps, the only other way to lose your legs in this game is a very, very specific enemy that you're not going to fight your first run through. Most likely. Nearly almost likely. But anywho, let's make use of this bookstore again. I could pick up a Book of Enlightenment at any time here, by the way, if I get lucky. As I said. But again, we do want to make some more progress. Basically, I'm going to save it right before I died, is what I'm trying to say. But let's find out. So, wrench toss the head. Let's make sure we do that. And this should one-shot you, unless I miss somehow. So what did I do? I must have just, like, wrench tossed the torso, by the way. But anywho, oops, wrong road. Small key, again. So basically, I can open up the locked building next to me. But we're not going to do that, so let us equip the pipe wrench and move on with life. Tale of Pocket Cat. I don't even know what some of these books have inside. Just full of books. Always making sure, though, what I think. Yeah, so we got Rur and Sylvian once more. No Grogarath, but I don't really care. We could have just used a small key there, but we can break this door down just fine. Anywho. So let's move on with life. There's another book here. I think you specifically have to interact with this spot too, otherwise you don't get anything. Recipes, nothing here. Flip a coin, get something. Small things, amulet. Well, at least now I can guarantee that I'll be faster. The question is... Yeah, and unfortunately the turn has to end before you get HP here. So I'd rather have mitigation because, right now, it's not so great. In fact, we have 2 Bremen gas masks on, so... Basically, it would be very great to save right now, but I highly, highly doubt that an atrocity is about to happen. In fact, I didn't even use the church yet, did I? Or need to go investigate the church. Do I need to investigate the church just to get rid of Osa, maybe? I'm thinking. Because if I loop back around... I'd have to think. Do I want to visit the church now? Is there a reason for me to visit the church now? There is, but eventually I need to come back to it anyway. So yeah, I technically don't need to. Is there anything I wouldn't want to pick up? No, not really, right? Yeah, so... It would give me information in terms of, is there a death mask that spawns in the church? Because if that one spawns, pretty much, I think in any normal playthrough, sorry, there is only, is it 1 or 2 death masks that activate? I can't remember, but basically the stream is coming to an end. As long as Bobby doesn't catch me, we're going to take this really quickly. There are bullets inside there. And, yeah, we're going to keep moving on. So we're going to pocket cat scene again, but we don't need a Book of Enlightenment because we already have one. We could grab another one, but there's no reason to. Again, at this point, you might be asking, and it's something I think I mentioned before, but it's that if you're like, Jordan, why didn't you just give yourself 99 Books of Enlightenment? Well, okay, I could do a thing, but I guess I should. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to add a little debug thing to the How to Affection book that I gave myself here for the mod, just so I can debug things myself. But, you know, oftentimes that's not good for immersion, but hey, I didn't make Fear and Hunger 2 Termina, so why, as a mod creator, do I have to worry about adding debug stuff? Basically. But otherwise, yeah, we're pretty much going to save it here, and I think I'll call it for the stream, so... Actually, this would have been a 2-hour stream, but I had some technical difficulties at the beginning. But yeah, without further ado here... Do I want to take a risk? No, why would I take a risk? Knowing my RNG, I'm not going to take this risk. So, we're going to save it here, and I think I'll call it. Maybe maybe tomorrow we'll have a video about this again. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, at some point, I wonder... I think this saves needles spawn, funny enough. So, I guess we're going to find out. But otherwise... Yeah, I think I'll call it for here. So, yeah, without further ado, if you want to see anything, if you want to support me at any length, subscribing helps out. But if you could... You could become a member on this channel, but if you are going to give me money and you want to decide between supporting a game or supporting this channel in terms of monetary value, or just want to give me money in general, I would rather you save and donate for or buy a game that I make. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, without further ado, I'll probably plan. So basically, 75% chance tomorrow I'll do a video for this. Basically playthrough debugging my own affection mod, and that'll be that. Everything else I already talked about, so yeah, without further ado, I won't take up much more of your time. I'll thank everyone for coming, if you're watching right now, or if you're watching this as a VOD, I'd like to thank you as well. Everything helps. I do very much appreciate it, and I'm very much humbled by it. But otherwise, yeah, if you have anything to say, I'm primarily available through Discord. I might, if at some point in the future I, make a Twitter account again, I will, just to hold on to it. But otherwise, I will, yeah, mainly through Discord, and then I have something. If you want to reach throughout, if you want to do business, like through the channel or whatnot, I do have an email available there as well, but mainly related to the channel. So, yeah, without further ado, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye! Jordan, end the screen. You also need to make thumbnails. Jordan, please, you have to make thumbnails. Do it at some point, please.